passed an audit, I mean, a decade ago, maybe, or ever, really? And we want to just, in order to actually pass audits, you have to have financial information that allows you to trace the payments. You know, and once in a while, the Treasury has to pause payments if it thinks the payment is going to a fraudulent organization. Like, if a company or an organization is on a do not pay list, we should not pay it. I'm sure you would agree. Like, if it's quite hard to get on that payment, the do not pay list, it means that this is someone that is just, it's like dead people, terrorists, known fraudsters, that kind of thing. We should not pay them. But currently we do, which is crazy. We should stop that.
Many transactions. And by the way, hundreds, thousands of transactions like that. You know, we have a big team. And for the sake of the country, I hope that the person that's in charge and the other people that report to me that are in charge are allowed to do the right thing, namely make sure everything's honest, legitimate, and competent. But we're looking at just, when you look at USAID, that's one. We're going to look at the military, we're going to look at education. They're much bigger areas. But the USAID is really corrupt. I'll tell you, it's corrupt. It's incompetent, and it's really corrupt. And I can't imagine a judge saying, well, it may be corrupt, but you don't have the right. You got elected to look over the country and to, as we say, make America great again, but you don't have the right to go and look and see whether or not things are right that they're paying or that things are honest that they're paying. And nobody can even believe this. Other people, law professors, they've been saying, how can you take that person's right away? You're supposed to be running the country, but we're not allowed to look at who they're paying it to and what they're paying. We have massive amounts of fraud that we caught. I think we probably caught way over a lot of billions of dollars already in, 2 weeks?
Yes.
And it's going to go to numbers that you're not going to believe. And much, as I said, much is incompetence and much is dishonesty. We have to catch it. And the only way we're going to catch it is to look for it. And if a judge is going to say you're not allowed to look for it, that's pretty sad for our country. I don't understand how it could even work.
On the buyout program, can you personally guarantee that...
Which one?
The buyout program, the offer to federal workers. Can you personally guarantee that the workers who opt in to resign now will be paid through September?
Well, they'll get their money, but they're getting a good deal. They're getting a big buyout. And what we're trying to do is reduce government. We have too many people. We have office space. It's occupied by 4%. Nobody's showing up to work because they were told not to. And then Biden gave them a 5-year pass, some of them, 48,000 of them, gave them a 5-year pass, that for 5 years you don't have to show up to work. And let me tell you, this is largely, much of this stuff is because of Biden. It's his fault. What he did on our border is almost not as bad as what he did with all of these contracts that have come out. It's a very sad day when we look at it. I can't even believe it. But many contracts just extend, and they just keep extending, and there was nobody there to correct it. And that cannot be, I can't imagine that could be held up by the court. Any court that would say that the president or his representatives, like Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of State, whatever, doesn't have the right to go over their books and make sure everything's honest. I mean, how can you have a country? You can't have anything that way. You can't have a business that way. You can't have a country that way. Hey, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Oh, so y'all finally getting it together, huh? I've been trying to tell y'all for the longest. I was trying to be a whistleblower to let y'all know that this type of stuff was going on. I tried to let y'all know before they took my job away from me, but y'all allowed them to. So now, y'all see that they've been taking our money and using it. And guess what? The Housing and Community Development Department in the city of Houston, the $1.1 billion that we received for Hurricane Harvey and still didn't do anything but gave raises to work wives and promotions to work wives. And me being a federal employee for 11 plus years, call myself being a whistleblower and then losing my job because I was the whistleblower. So we have employees working for the City of Houston Housing and Community Development Department that's making six figures doing nothing. They're sitting at home. They're cheating on their spouses during lunch breaks, but they're not re-roofing homes. They're not helping with down payment assistance. There's so many different audits that go on there, and they just shoo them under the rug because they want to give them the funds so they can all keep their jobs. See, when I went to OIG to file a complaint, they told me that one, they don't help with whistleblowers, and two, since I wasn't the one having the affair, that I can't file a grievance to save my job. I tried to explain to them that my job was grant funded, and instead of them promoting me or moving me into another position, they exchanged my position with someone that was on the layoff list so they could lay me off. I had no type of write-ups. I was transferred from under my boss before, twice before they laid me off. And one is because they transferred me twice because the ones that they did transfer me under were doing illegal. They were doing illegal things on the clock, like going. Yeah, they go and work out and they go and sleep together on their lunch breaks. What they do with taxpayers' money is they steal time. They sit there for 3 hours and then leave and get paid for 8, 9, or 10 hours. The City of Houston Housing Community Development Department let go of all of the actual workers so that they could entertain their work affairs. If you look into the analytics of the department, half of the employees that work for the finance don't even have a degree to work in finance or a background of working in finance. They just sleep with each other and get promotions. And I tried to whistleblow that and they laid me off. I was definitely not in the department to be laid off. I was given promises to be promoted. And I think those promises to be promoted was for me to keep my mouth shut. For them to be able to continue to abuse me, like one of the top directors was using people to make documents, illegal documents, like all type of pay stubs and stuff like that. So with that being said, your USD, your tax dollars, your all that good stuff, because it's not from tax. They say it's not from the City of Houston. It's from the federal government. It's from GLOW. So the government, federal funds are being basically fraud. They're wasting them. They're not saving anyone from home repairs. They knew that a woman wanted to spend the refund for her home repairs for Hurricane Harvey. They knew that she wanted to pay her mortgage and that she was a City of Houston employee. And instead of giving her the money so she could save her home mortgage, in which that's what we, provide services for, the team that was over it, they're currently working there now, stopped her check. They kept prolonging it on purpose, not because of we didn't have the funds. We have wire transfers that they transfer in seconds, just so someone can go and take a trip with their work spouse for a training. So with that being, they take these trainings and they spend $2,000-3,000 per person, and then they invite like 15 of them, and they'll go and they'll be together as a couple. They're at the training. These are employees that are married, that have husbands and wives at home, that go and spend federal funds to go and have like a Diddy party in another state. Okay, I whistleblowed that. They transferred me into a department so that I was laid off. They tried to blame it on COVID. They tried to blame it on the funds being retrieved from, $1.1 billion that was not spent, was given back to Texas Glow. And when it was given back to Texas Glow, they made a group of individuals that were part of that actual fund, and I was not on that list. They did everything that they wanted on purpose because they knew that they could not control me anymore, because I started seeing the abuse. When I first was working in the file room, I noticed the ways of them paying off the auditors to make all of their paperwork look perfect. So when I noticed that they were doing that, they came up with a program so we can electronically save our documents, and they started redacting, and that's when the fraud started. That's when they start changing the documents. That's when I started noticing patterns of our funds, running out in ways that were not from the city of Houston. And what was going on was majority of the employees that knew the contractors of these, these builders that we were giving contracts to rebuild or do repairs to homes. The homes, they basically was getting paid, the employees was getting paid under the table from these contractors just so to grab the contract. So say we grab, say one of the contractors grabbed a contract for $150,000 for a home repair, a percentage of that is going back to the employee. So with that being said, I knew of these things.
Frankly, FEMA is not good.